Welcome to Media Men Online. I'm Jeremy. This is Dan.
What's up?
And we are doing some Kingsman.
In the early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to stand against a cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions, which is kind of the plot of the other two. The first one, it's Sam Jackson trying to get everyone to kill each other, and Julianne Moore trying to turn people into hamburger meat or some shit. I can't remember that one. It's been a while. I remember she kills a dude and she has her own diner in the middle of nowhere. Anyways, we'll start with this one. So the movie starts off and Orlando and his wife and kid are venturing out to
a city and some shoes.
They're part of the Red Cross and they're helping out a base,
So the camp is a very common way to deal with rebellions. It was a camps like that are what kind of pulled America into the Spanish-American War centered around Cuba. And the idea is, I think the quote from some guy, I can't remember the name of it, is the people are the ocean and the rebels are the fish. So to catch the fish, you must remove the ocean. So the idea is they literally everyone they can into a camp so that there aren't people for the rebels to get information and food from. But, obviously that gives them a place for the rebels to hit, but it's easier to defend a camp than it is to just trudge through the woods looking for locals.
There is an attack on the base and the mother is killed.
In the dumbest way possible. She literally stands up and runs into gunfire.
Running to her son, and the guy isn't intending to kill her, but does. Before the events of this movie, our main character has decided to vow off of fighting. He's been killing people for years. There are a bunch of flashbacks with him just being a good little soldier and murdering a bunch of people. As his wife is dying, she's like, go protect our son, make sure he doesn't get into war and all that stuff. Spoilers.
Don't bring him in a car to a war zone.
Oh, yeah. No, that part's fine.
You started it, lady. What are you even doing here? What?
Yeah.
Is she gonna write a strongly worded letter or something? I know she is a founding member of the Red Cross, and I wrote the cross is red because they all get shot like idiots.
I thought this movie really. I typed out failure to launch for one of my notes because it starts off really slow, and then each time the son, so we flash forward about, 10 years or whatever, and the son he's 17, right? He wants to join the military, but each time he tries to join or wants to join, the dad cuts him off. And this happens for maybe the first 30 to 40 minutes. It's really methodically paced. Too many, I'm going to join, and then, no, you're not. I'm going to use my clout to make sure you don't.
The first thing that the kid does is watch his mom die, but then he's basically one of those 23-year-old, 17-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically riding in a car, and he uses an umbrella to bat a grenade away from a car. And his dad doesn't give any recognition to the fact that he saved everyone's life, but then killed all the people behind them.
Yeah.
But they're unimportant people. All the important people are in this. They have lines and stuff.
Yeah, and that assassin dude is part of one of these organizations led by a Scottish guy who's
this organization. I spent the whole time going, this is gonna be really dumb, isn't it? This is gonna be just the dumbest shit ever.
A Dr. Evil style roundtable situation where it's just a bunch of random villains who have.
He's got he has Karl Marx in there. He has Lenin in there. He has
Rasputin.
He has Rasputin in there. I'm pretty sure Carmen Sandiego shows up later.
There's some hot chicks in there that goes to America.
I'm does the Pope also have a ring? And they never explain why this guy is their boss. They're all subservient to the point of if these were video game characters, you would yeet them off a cliff for being too dimensional.
Yes.
These are Skyrim NPC level followers.
Yeah, if they fail their mission, you have to pop out a cyanide tablet from the ring he just gave you from when you just met him to kill yourself. It's that level of devotion for no reason.
And all of these rich and powerful people call him shepherd, and this, which makes them and so they call him the shepherd. They all wear rings with different animals on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just kills a goat in front of them like, oh, I wonder how he likes me. The entire evil organization it's not written poorly. It's unwritten. If they had just had people come out without the Scottish guy spending 25 minutes berating people, trying to convince me that the movie is not well written and succeeding.
Yeah, did he kill the goat because Rasputin didn't want to be the tortoise or whatever he kept calling it? Tortoise.
Yeah, he killed the goat he killed the goat to intimidate Rasputin into bending the knee, basically.
Yes, because, goats are very difficult to kill. Rasputin, I feel like, put up a better fight than this guy. I would have took Rasputin any day. The way he was fucking dance fighting, that crazy son of a bitch.
That umbrella combat. I mean, yes. the ballerina combat.
Yeah, it's like weird Russian step dance combat.
Da 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 da. I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't been just so dramatically checked out of the movie by that point. I mean, the first scene was like dumb, and then the action. I'm just saying the action in this was not as good as the other two movies. The action was worse than the other two movies.
Action like hand-to-hand fighting stuff?
Yeah, the action, wow. The driving, the shooting, it was all just every bullet is either plot armor or plot seeking. They don't even bother trying to make them seem like a fight. Like, so we watched Master of the Universe not too long ago, and like every fight is just like a cut scene to the next plot point. They don't actually have any choreography to make you think these are two people that are really fighting.
Oh wow, I had the exact opposite feeling about it. Like literally the exact opposite.
Every bullet is like dropping around them, even though like they wouldn't be aiming in that direction. The bullets are like 70s level. Let me rephrase that. They made World War II just stormtroopers on both sides because no one can shoot a fucking thing in this movie. But there's just millions of bullets shot.
When the sun's running through the trenches?
Yes, that point, but also like there are other points when they're trying to shoot. Like every time someone gets a gun, they start losing the hand-to-hand combat. Like if you have like every time Rasputin threw a kick, it landed, but every time he tried to stab someone, he didn't stab anyone.
Yeah.
Like he should just kick them to death because apparently they just get kicked in the head for free. But as soon as you have a knife, they're just like the end of the Matrix.
Yeah, to me the fights, especially the Rasputin fight, the sword fight between the main character Orlando Oxford and the Scottish guy, it felt so forceful. It reminded me of God, what's that Marvel movie, the Kung Fu then turned to shit movie, Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Everything that happened in that fight with Rasputin felt like they were trying to kill each other to me. And I just rewatched the first Kingsman movie, The Golden Circle, maybe? No, Kingsman: The Secret Service is the first one. And I just rewatched it, and it felt more like they were trying to choreograph something. Even though Rasputin... So the main character, his son, and their sidekick dude go to try and kill Rasputin. And there's a fight where he's literally dancing to try and fight back, and it's working. But everything felt so intense that it really felt like a fight, even though it was choreographed. But with the one I just watched, it felt more like they were dancing than fighting, which is weird because there was actually dancing in this fight.
I mean, obviously the standout scene from the original movie is that one church scene. And if you watch that scene carefully, you notice that when someone has a gun, they shoot somebody. They don't immediately lose the gun and get punched in the ribs. Like in the movie we just watched, the third one, literally the way to win a fight is to never pick up a weapon. Like as soon as you pick up a baseball bat, you get -5 to your attack roll or whatever. Like no one does anything with a weapon in the fights until it's time for a character to die dramatically.
The only gun that was in the Rasputin fight, there were two. The one was a single shot bullet that the kid used to shoot the sword out of Rasputin's hand. And the other one was when the main lady there comes and cleans him up, shoots him right between the eyes.
I think the father tries to shoot Rasputin from elbow range. Like he picks up a gun and then lunges towards Rasputin so that Rasputin can take the gun away. It kind of reminds me of like a lot of scenes where it's time for the bad guy to like beat up a side character. So like they come in with like this giant looping punch that if you just stood still it would have missed, but instead they get like punched in the throat or whatever. Like they throw a punch like the enemy, like their opponent's gonna jump backwards 7 feet. And I just felt like every fight scene in this was just noise until the plot point of a bullet ending it or someone running in and canceling the fight.
Yeah, and the chick, Polly is her name. She has a fucking sniper rifle in this, and is just this is the girl you want on your team. You know, if you're playing Call of Duty or whatever, she's just picking suckers off from this little cabin, just popping heads. It's great. So
Yeah,
the main plot of this movie,
I liked her character, but didn't understand like her thing. Like, so she runs a international spy agency and makes the tea. Like, I feel like she should be too busy to clean and cook. If she's running a spy agency that spans 5 continents, I feel like someone else should make the tea.
So there are 3 cousins who all grew up to be the leaders of 3 countries: Germany, Great Britain, and Russia. The German guy is mad because he has one tiny hand, and I was wondering if you think he like jacks off with the little hand so his dick looks huge.
I mean, I feel like if you're the king, you don't have to jack off. Someone does that for you.
Yeah, that's true. But growing up, he had to. Arnim Zola and Rob Zombie are trying to push the war. So Rob Zombie, who is Rasputin, he wants the Russian dictator to pull out, pun intended. And Arnim Zola, who is the German guy, wants to push Germany into war. The thing that really confused me about this movie is that the son is introduced to this whole new spy world. So the dad finally is like, okay, you can join with us. They have this secret room behind the bookcase. Classic, spy shit. The son
would ever look behind a
joins,
bookcase for a secret room.
except they had it on this statue instead of. I would have been pulling all the books off the shelf, trying to find like a secret one to pull back.
Oh, see, I would have just been, tearing the bookshelves down to find the false wall. All that fancy gadgetry can't stop my crowbar and sledgehammer.
So they go to kill Rasputin, the fight we talked about earlier. Rasputin says to Orlando, "I only make decisions when my stomach is full or my balls are empty." And his response is, "Thank God they're serving dinner." This dude is fucking disgusting. I'm so glad he died in this movie.
They make the goal of both creeping you out and disgusting you, and oh boy, do they succeed.
Yeah, he eats like this weird cake thing.
Imagine like a Labrador would eat it.
Yeah.
While mean mugging you.
Yeah, and then he starts licking his leg to try and heal it. It is just a nasty scene. I didn't know how far we were gonna go with this, but
yeah, there's a whole bunch of hairy leg in that scene, and I don't appreciate it. Hairy leg with a hairy dude licking the leg hole.
Getting sick just thinking about it.
It was really gross.
I do always enjoy a fight that has like an unusual battle style. I always like Jackie Chan in that Drunken Master movie. Just like weird movements, and I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. So they kill Rasputin, and Conrad still wants to join the military. Conrad's the son. Why doesn't he want to just do the spy shit? Like, let's skip the Saving Private Ryan shit and be a spy. Like, you're still helping out. You just killed Rasputin.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like, he wants to serve his country. I feel like being a spy that ends a war is better than. But he really wants to go and like lay down in the trenches and be in one of the most useless ways to die of all time. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there are stories from World War I and II where, like, I can't remember if it's World War I or World War II, but there are literally like thousands of guys dying because they're fighting over a tennis court. Not an area the size of a tennis court, an actual tennis court. I don't think the net made it.
No.
The net came down after the 7,000th grenade.
So they're in the trenches. The son joins the military by swapping places with some rando dude, sends him to bring a letter to his dad. He volunteers to go out and do like this night mission with 5 other individuals who are in the military in the trenches right there. And they have to retrieve something because a spy was trying to run to the trenches and got blown up. Did he get hit
the
with a
old
grenade
spy
or?
technique of holding up the wrong flag and running and yelling. Somehow they spotted him.
Yeah, weird. Right in the middle of the battlefield. What's the game plan? You're just in the trenches. What's the plan here?
I mean, if you're trying to like deliver a thing, wouldn't you like use like a flashlight and a slingshot to like signal, "Hey, I've got the thing." Okay, shoot it. Like use like a giant flashlight or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
or
you could try to sneak at night, maybe. Because like you can obviously just run across it at night and no one will see you. He didn't think of that.
right. The only reason that the people at night found Conrad in the only other guy left with a leg off, he was pretty calm for having no leg. The only reason they saw him is because day broke. So if he came across at night with the chip or the device or whatever the fuck he had, he'd have been fine. So what happens is Conrad and this other guy are the only two survivors. Conrad throws him over his shoulder and starts running back the same exact way that the spy just died.
Yep.
They make it all the way
he's
there.
Like, well, that almost worked last time.
Yeah. Oh, I got this. I'm much faster than that dude carrying this other 180-pound man.
I'm gonna carry this guy bigger than me, but like the same way.
Maybe he's
I'm
more
gonna
like
make it 'cause I'm the main
175.
character. He comes across the thing. He tries to keep his secret cover as not in Oxford or whatever, and he just gets shot in the head. Like the guy comes up to him with a rifle in his hand, yells at him, and then shoots him in the face. And the guy never thinks to like try for a second to not get shot in the face. He literally dodges like, ballerina knife thrust 7 times. Some Scottish guy is like, "I'm gonna shoot you in the face." He's like, "Well, okay then, but maybe if I say something, you'll." "Oh no, I'm dead."
So they get knocked into the trench, and Conrad is still going by the alias, but the guy that Jeremy just said has the gun, knows the dude, so he thinks that Conrad is a spy.
Which is a reasonable thing to assume. Like,
it is a reasonable thing, but I didn't think he was going to shoot him, so maybe Conrad didn't either. It was really, really just all of a sudden. Obviously that's how bullets work, but don't you think if you had a spy in your grasp, you'd want to, like, I don't know, interrogate him?
Well, I mean, as shown in this movie, like the Scottish people are just very angry.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, "Oh, you're British. I know who you are, and you're British, not Scottish, so I'm going to shoot you in the face." So Conrad dies, sending Orlando into a spiral of depression. He eventually comes out of it when one of the military men give him a medal for Conrad because Conrad brought what is it, like a recording device, or I forget exactly what it is.
He brought the negatives that they were using to blackmail the American president with.
I thought the negatives were in the cabin with No, the negatives are up with the main guy. They steal it from the dude on the elevator lift thing.
Wait, so what did the guy bring in the tin? That was the
It was
thing,
like a
that was the
square
decoding thing?
Yeah, the decoder to figure out what the Germans are saying. That's what it was. Figure out what they're saying.
That's right. And then like 2 countries in the world tried to decode it, but between making tea and biscuits, the maid spy lady decoded it all by herself.
Yes.
Think of what she could have done if she, worked at it full time. I was going to go to the moon, but like too many scones to make.
My main point about this movie is I was expecting more James Bond, less Saving Private Ryan. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I was expecting a sequel to Kingsman. I don't know what to call this movie. There is some spy stuff in it, but I would say it's not as coherent as the other movies.
Right.
It's not as coherent as the first movie. Actually, talking to you now, I'm not sure I remember the second one.
All I remember is Julianne Moore killing one of her henchmen and grinding him into hamburger meat and serving it at her diner.
My main complaint with this was that the plot was probably fine, but the action was just not there. It was some Saving Private Ryan, some spycraft stuff, but I mean, every fight was just, I did not think the action was good, except for like that one scene where the guy gets yeeted up the cliff and just stabs that and just cuts that guy's head off. I did enjoy that.
So the movie ends with obviously the villain being killed. Orlando throws him off this giant cliff thing that's in the middle of nowhere. And I had this thought. They killed the villain, throw him off the cliff, and they're standing, him and his buddy there, standing near the cliff. Like all these damn goats around, and you're going to be standing at the edge of this this freaking ravine. Imagine just one of those goats comes and butts him off the edge. Oh, Kingsman. That's done. Yeah,
especially after he almost got knocked off the cliff by one of the goats to begin with.
Yes. I was just going to say I was pretty disappointed by this movie. After
so was I.
Seeing the first two, but
it's a shame. It had a good trailer, but
yeah,
the movie itself was basically the inverse of Dune. Really good trailer, bad movie. Bad trailer, good movie. I will now start judging movies based on how bad the trailer is.
Because the movie will be good.
All the Will Ferrell trip movies are now going to be hilarious because the trailers are now.
6.8 thousand ratings on IMDb for a 6.8 out of 10. I'm a little bit lower. I'm gonna give it a 6. As I said,
I'm gonna sign on to your 6.
Yeah, I like the action, and the movie was okay. It's just not something I'd watch again. I'll watch the other two. I really did like Polly and Ralph Fiennes. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below what his fucking name is, because I think people call him Rafe Fiennes or something like that, even though his name is clearly Ralph. Whatever.